Okay, what if I told you that by the time you had lunch today, you'd probably already broken the law? We're about to dive into the digital habits you do every single day without a second thought and find out how they just might make you an accidental outlaw. Seriously, just let that sink in for a second. 3 times. This isn't just some catchy quote. It points to this huge gaping hole between how we actually live our lives online and, well, the laws that are supposed to be running the show. It's a gap we all fall into pretty much every day. So you're probably asking, how is that even possible? Well, to figure this out, let's follow a totally average person. We'll just call them Alex, through what looks like a completely normal day. But from a legal point of view, it turns out to be, well, kind of a crime spree. All right, so our story kicks off in the morning. Alex is just getting the day going, doing a couple of things that, yep, I'm willing to bet sound really familiar to you. Okay, so first thing, Alex grabs their partner's tablet just to check a quick message. Then they log into their parents' streaming account. Gotta catch the news, right? And to top it off, while the coffee's brewing, Alex's phone just, automatically jumps on the neighbor's unsecured Wi-Fi. Seems like totally harmless, everyday stuff, doesn't it? Right. To Alex, and let's be honest, to most of us, this is just a normal Tuesday morning. But if you look at the actual letter of the law, whoa. These simple little things get a much more serious label. And that label is unauthorized access. Yeah, sounds serious. And the key part of that legal jargon is without explicit permission. It's not about whether your partner would care or if your parents gave you the password like a year ago. Legally speaking, if you don't have explicit current permission, boom, it can fall under this umbrella. And this is where that massive disconnect we talked about really smacks you in the face. We think of sharing a streaming password as just being nice, right? The law, it calls that unauthorized access. We see an open Wi-Fi network as a lucky break. The law, same thing, unauthorized access. It's a perfect case of our modern social rules just sprinting ahead, leaving the legal rulebook in the dust. Okay, so let's jump ahead to the afternoon. Alex's morning was all about getting to stuff, right? Accessing things. Well, the afternoon is going to be all about sharing them. So Alex is just scrolling through their feed, sees a hysterical meme, and does what literally all of us do. Save, repost, done. A little later, they're putting together a presentation, need a picture, so where do they go? Straight to Google Images, of course. I mean, that's just how the internet works, right? It's basically the foundation of online culture. And it feels completely harmless. It's how jokes go viral, how we connect over shared ideas. But I think you can see where this is going. The law has a much colder way of looking at it. Yep, it's called copyright theft. And here's the kicker, the part most of us never think about. Copyright is automatic. The instant someone makes something, a photo, a blog post, yes, even that ridiculous cat meme, it is legally protected. So when you repost it without getting permission, the law doesn't go, oh, that's just sharing. Nope, it sees theft. I mean, just think for a second about how often this happens. You see a funny meme, you repost it, bam. Technically, that's copyright infringement. You need to jazz up a presentation, you grab the first cool image from Google, bam. You're technically breaking the rules again. It's another perfect example of our everyday online lives just completely clashing with the old school legal. All right, so let's pull back for a second and recap this whole thing. Alex had a totally normal day, right? Checked some messages, watched a show, shared a couple of memes. But if you put on your legal eagle glasses, it looks a whole lot like a mini crime spree. So here it is, the official rap sheet. Everything from the morning, sharing passwords, hopping on Wi-Fi, that all gets filed under unauthorized access. Then all the afternoon stuff, the reposting and image grabbing, that's all copyright theft. So when you add it all up, in just one perfectly average day, Alex has stacked up a pretty surprising list of technical violations. And obviously, this story isn't really about Alex. It's about us. It's about you. The average person online could be racking up more than 10 of these little infractions every single day and not have a clue. So this isn't about pointing fingers or saying we have bad habits. It's about showing how we're living in a system where our digital lives and the law are just completely at odds. Okay, now the point of all this is absolutely not to scare you. I don't want you to go delete all your accounts in a panic. The chances of getting prosecuted for reposting a meme are like astronomically small. The real point here is just to shine a light on this fascinating and kind of absurd reality that we're all navigating every day. And all of this leaves us with one really big, juicy question to chew on. When the normal, everyday behavior of millions upon millions of people is technically against the law, does that mean we're all a bunch of criminals? Or does it mean the laws themselves are just broken, that they're totally out of date and out of sync with the digital world they're supposed to be governing? Now that is something to think about.